Welcome to Role Play Cafe. There you go. Name's Dale with Doon and Todd, and John is running us through session 9 of the Alien RPG. Uh, don't know what we'll call this one, but we'll come up with something at the end, I'm sure. All right, take it away, John.
All right. So, um, in our previous session, we had found out what has been occurring on Solovetsky Island while the away mission down onto the Gorham colony was taking place. Uh, when we began that session, we jumped back in time a little bit to immediately after the away team left the Solovetsky Island. And found out that some bad things were happening. Um, there was a bit of an effort to previous to the away team leaving of trying to figure out what the black box is that was connected to the comms array. There was also some investigation that was done by Dr. Berger to find out what was wrong with your engineer, Daver. He's currently in cryosleep. He seems to have been infected with something. The whites of his eyes are all black. He was unconscious, and there's no obvious cause for what's going on. So Berger did some research, and that kind of Berkshire continued doing that research after the away team left, and Kip, also known as Windows, doing some investigation to figure out what caused the basically the the oxygen system in the infirmary to shut off. There was some sort of um, security protocol that was engaged uh, when that happened. It happened twice actually, and one time it was when Dr. Berger and Emily Quintana were in there. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Hamida, the security officer, were in there trying to. They quarantined themselves because they brought Daver into the infirmary and were trying to figure out what exactly was going on. They almost passed out, or they did pass out. They almost died, but they got the air back, the oxygen flow back on, and that took care of that problem. So um, between I think it was Lakota Monroe, which was played by Doon because his character is on the dropship.
No, it was Emily. It was
Um,
Emily.
oh, you were Emily. I'm sorry. That's why I got it confused. Yeah, so you were Emily Quintana in that session, in the previous session, um, and the two of you, by two of you I mean Emily and Kip, try to figure out what the nature of the security protocol was. And it turned out that there was some um, uh, I don't remember the exact phrase I used before, but there was some sort of biological contaminant that was detected in the air in the infirmary, and the response was to shut off the oxygen. This was pre-programmed into the computer system uh, and was done so by somebody back at the mother colony. Oh, and one thing, before we talked about the fact that the ship does not have a mother mainframe like the larger ships did, such as the ship in Alien, there is actually a small, or not a like a mainframe in the same sense, but a computer, and it's called Daughter. And this this is unique to, I believe it's unique to the Building Better Worlds, which is where this campaign comes out of. And this is essentially a well, I mean, it's called Daughter because it's like an offspring of Mother, I guess, but it's basically a subordinate version of of mother that runs inside of this ship. So I believe you guys accessed that through the captain's console on the bridge. But we're just gonna, for future reference, we're gonna say that you were accessing the daughter system uh,
Correct.
in order to gain this information. So the decision was you're going to figure out exactly what this contaminant was. So you decided to vent all of the air in the storeroom, which is just south of the infirmary and to the west or the east of the med pods. And the med pods is where Dabber is currently being stored. And I believe that it was Dr. Bircher volunteered to put on a vac suit and kind of use the storeroom as a, like a,
Yeah.
a stable environment that you could enter without having to concern yourself with contaminating the rest of the ship. And Berther went inside and was checking the med pods to see the state of everything, and he was attacked by something, some sort of long snake that had like a protruding head, was hiding underneath of one of the med pods, and it sprang like a coil, shot directly at Berter, broke through his vac suit helmet, and started uh, trying to strangle him by wrapping itself around his neck and forcing its head into his mouth. He struggled with this and was unable to dislodge it and free his neck to breathe. And that is when Emily decided to,
Windows.
or no, it was Windows decided to come in and come to the rescue. He grabbed a knife in the storeroom, and ran to the med pod and started trying to wrench this thing off of his neck. And between the two of them, they were capable of doing it. They threw it to the ground and ran out of the med pods into the storeroom. It seems that there were some acid burns around the mouth of Dr. Bircher because he was trying to bite the head. As So it's probably a good thing that Windows did not use the knife to try to cut it off. Otherwise, Bircher would probably be dead, as acid would have been all over his lower head and neck and chest.
Oh, that's a thing.
So you tried to you patched up Bircher and decided to you started contemplating some options of how to vent all of the air in the ship, because when you vented the air in the med pods, that apparently killed this snake thing. So it appears to need oxygen to survive. And while you were arguing with this, Emily snuck into the med pod area and took the snake creature and stowed it away inside of her bunk, um, with some apparent agenda that we're not.
Emily,
No one is aware of.
Yes. No one. I believe Emily ran into Lakota, managed to convince
that's
her that
right.
she wasn't doing anything of any concern, and so this sample is well, it's not really a sample, but an entire specimen is stowed in the bunk room, and I'm sure nothing bad will happen from that. It's entirely normal to do that,
Yeah.
and there will be no repercussions whatsoever. And so you basically came up with a plan to eventually vent the air all in Deck A, leaving B and C intact, because you would have been low on oxygen for your trip back to the mother colony. It would have required everyone to be in cryo sleep. um, because of you use significantly less oxygen in cryosleep than you do being conscious. And then the shuttle arrived. The dropship returned from the mother colony with some survivors, and you started making a plan because there are infected colonists down there, and they needed the assistance of Kip to come down and rig up some cryopods inside of the dropship that you took down. Uh, and so we're going to pick up there. As the colonists arrive, you guys did some basic analysis and are fairly confident they're not infected with anything. And I think you wanted them to get immediately into cryopods in case based off of what your decision is with the air retention. So why don't we pick up there? Because we didn't actually. I don't believe you actually left the ship for the colony again
Not
to
yet.
get the remaining
No.
people there. So I think you guys wanted to work some things out. So why don't we pick up there?
Okay, can we kind of set a scene? Are we all talking about what our plan is, or who's where?
Yeah. Why don't we say that we are in? Let's see if they came in from deck B in the cargo bay. I'm going to guess that they came up through the elevators in the JCT areas. And so, I mean, we can either be in the bridge or the briefing room, or, I mean, I think one of those two, or the mess hall. Maybe they're eating because they haven't had food in a while.
That makes sense. These
But
hungry people.
yeah. So
it's a real
why don't we
tomato.
say? Yeah. Why don't why don't we say that? Windows, Bircher, Lakota, and Emily are all standing around the mess hall while the
Marino family.
yes, thank you. The Marino family is scarfing down some of the rations that you had available and nuked in the microwave to turn into what qualifies as a meal on this ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm kind of keeping my voice low, talking to my companions, watching these people chow down. Okay. And it's so I'm thinking as soon as their bellies are full, we get them into some cryo beds, and just kind of put them on cold storage for a little while.
That seems appropriate to me, says Emily.
Okay.
I agree. I'm a little bit nervous, to tell you the truth, that we just let them come in here and start eating. And my eyes are darting around. I just don't want them to bring any kind of an infection aboard. Now I'm looking at the boys. The one that was infected before, the girl. I mean the boy. Is he
The
with
two, uh, the entire Marino family is here. That consists of Danny is the boy that you're trying to think of, and then the I'm sorry, let me just grab Diego is the father. Yeah, is the father, and then we have the essentially the quasi leader of the entire colony, Amelia, is the mother of Danny. So Danny, none of these three people have been infected. The two infected people are Benny Parks and his father, Morgan Parks, who are still down on the colony.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I just still want to. I'm eager to run them through some tests and physical, to make sure that they're okay, and get a rundown of the guys' planet side. Maybe if they can be brought up already in the containment chambers, the cryopods, that'd be great. I say we we don't need any infection spreading to the rest of the crew. We do have a long journey back.
Yeah.
We have Tan Blashman and what's the other person? Hamada
Yeah.
Yes,
and
Hamada,
Dudge are
yep.
all
And
there to
Dudge is the
report
pilot.
or to basically agree, right? That was their plan too, right? The away team's plan was to basically put the people in the pods before bringing them up, or in the medical
Yeah.
chambers from the
Yeah.
broken down shuttle.
Who we got left back on the colony?
Yoko, infected
Yeah,
Benny
and then
Parks, and Morgan Parks.
Okay.
yes.
So they're definitely not coming up unless they're in a cryo, for sure. But I don't know. Do you think what's have we broached the subject with these folks yet about going into cryo?
No, I doesn't sound like it.
No. All right.
No, we'll
Do,
let them meet.
do you want to?
Maybe call a meeting.
Okay.
Emily's not gonna waste time and go over to talk to them but she's not thinking about the same thing y'all are thinking about. So she's gonna go to the Marinos who are like busy chowing down, and she'll start. She'll say, "Oh, so there was just the two families of you remaining. We were hoping there would be more survivors." I hear what they say.
Yes. Most of them uh, decided to leave with the pirates that came. Uh, they were, once the colony failed, we didn't have a whole lot to provide, and eventually there was arguments, there was fighting, uh, and when the pirates came, they took a lot of our belongings, and some of them joined up with them, and that was that was really it. We had about 15 at first, and I she kind of looks a bit ashamed for when she says, I told you about the deaths that happened, but there were some before that as well.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, about the mines down there, did you all manage to collect much ore, or what were you collecting? What were you mining down there, anyways?
Uh, yes, there was a rare ore that uh, we found in the mines, and we traded that with the other colonists in the area.
Oh, so you've had contact with others. When was the last time you were able to reach any of the other colonies out here?
We haven't had communication with them.
All right.
God, it
That.
was well before the fall. The colony failed, so it must have been almost 12 years.
I see. And
I mean,
did,
Danny was a little boy last time. He talked to anybody outside of our colony.
well, I'm sure that we'll be able to bring your families back to some level of comfort and normalcy at the mother colony.
And
So
she looks.
yeah, sorry, just
Uh, I was just going to say she looks at Diego and her look at each other and seem excited and relieved that they're going to be with have a stable group get provisions and bare necessities from.
Okay, so just to recap, the mine down there still operational and not completely tapped yet. Just before pirates and other unfortunate things came over to ruin what otherwise seemed to be a good mining operation.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's in the most of the state when the colony failed is in that report that I provided. I gave it to I believe her name is Hamida. I gave it to her uh, before you all started looking for Benny.
Very good. Thank you for that. I think Dr. Bircher and our engineer Windows can tell you all about the trip to the mother colony. And then she walks away.
Yeah.
That they look a bit confused that she just excuses herself. But they're finishing up their meal, and Danny asks, "Can I go? Can I go explore the ship?"
No.
He asks his father, and
Yeah,
Amelia shakes her head and waves over Bircher and Windows uh, to the table. They seem anxious to find out what's happening next.
I walk up, put my hands behind my back, and welcome to the Soloveski Island. I take it you are having your fill.
Oh yes,
Face to face.
uh, it's a lot better than we've had recently. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, we want to make sure you're in peak health. So, as such, especially if you're going to travel with us back to the colony, I need to perform a medical examination on all of you to make sure that just to make sure we're in the clear with that.
Amelia speaks up and says, "Yes, of course. Whatever's necessary. We'll be happy to submit to the examination." I mean, I don't think that she looks at the two men there and says, I don't think you'll find anything out of the ordinary other than some malnutrition.
Oh, I suspect you're right. I look at my watch and I say, while they're getting your accommodations ready, um, would you care to meet me in the sick bay? And I look at my watch and say, in 2 hours? And I look some of the faces.
Yes, we'll be happy to be there. My boy, Danny wants to explore the ship. That is that
I'm afraid that's not possible right now. We just have to
okay?
make sure that that you're clean. We,
Of course.
forgive me. We don't want any kind of viruses or foreign viruses. You have to be tended to before you give clearance to that effect. But otherwise, and I smile, little boy. That's not out of a possibility there, as long as our captain is okay with it. And I smile. I must get to my laboratory and prepare for your visit. And then I smile and nod my head. Enjoy the rest of your meal.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you in a couple hours.
Okay. Yeah, I nod my head and back off, smile, and turn.
They
don't let that
they
kid
just
wander
kind of
around
sit
the ship.
back and Todd, Todd, I muted you. I'm not sure if you're back yet,
I
but
am
if
back.
you are, you can unmute
Yeah, Todd's
yourself.
back. You can
I'm
unmute.
back.
You
I
can't.
am
I don't
back.
think he can unmute himself because he can. It's personal.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Oh.
I
Oh.
unmuted you. We could hear you talking to Sam, so I
Oh,
muted you.
okay.
Yeah. So the family is, just sitting back, relaxing. It seems that they're stuck in the mess hall until they kill these 2 hours. Is there anything that Kip wants to say, or is he going to?
I just don't want. I don't want that kid walking around the ship.
Okay.
So I'm keeping an eye on him. You know.
You gonna
All
show
right.
him something?
What's that?
Are you gonna like say, "Here, let me show you the tour of the bathroom"?
No, I just anytime he tries to veer off and poke around, you know.
Oh well, he's just they're just sitting in the mess hall because
Oh, okay.
Bercher told them they
Okay.
can't explore. So are you just gonna sit in the corner eyeing them for that
Yes.
2 hours
Yes.
that they have?
Yes.
Babysitter?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So you can see Diego and Amelia kind of talking quietly to each other.
Right.
They look over at you every once in a while. Do you have? Are you giving them the evil eye, or are you just sitting there expressionless, or what?
Expressionless.
Okay.
Okay. Just like nothing.
All right.
Wait, aren't you
You can.
muted back on the colony windows? You're like the one
Yes.
person that we were asking.
I know. I have to go.
Yeah, when the dropship goes down, yeah, but that hasn't left yet. So.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Should we just fast forward past these 2 hours?
Sure.
And then okay. So
Yeah, unless when they
yeah.
should go, are
If the dropship's going-
do we have any urgency at all for sending the people back? Because it's gonna be night, or it's already nighttime, basically.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was going
I
to say, if
mean,
the dropship's heading down, we just need to talk about whether we need to put them straight in if it's possible to put them in the cryopods on the way back up. Or
No,
they would have to be
we're
hooked up,
definitely
right?
doing that. The parks are definitely going into the cryopods before they come up. The issue is you're going to do the medical examination on the Marinos, and
Yeah.
are we going to send the dropship right now, or are we going to wait until lots of other stuff gets resolved on the ship before we send the dropship down? Because the idea, I think, originally was that Windows would go help Yoko to like disassemble and reassemble the cryopods on the shuttle that was broken down there, or the cargo ship, rather.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like there was some urgency, at least originally, to have Windows go down and help. But if we don't really care, that's fine too. I don't mind. Or I mean,
Well, yeah, no, we were supposed to go. I was supposed to go down and try and help get those cryopods working, right?
yes.
Okay, so
that was the priority, I think.
All right. So it sounds like Bircher is gonna wrangle the Marinos. And who is going down with Kip? I mean, obviously Dudge has to go down because he's the pilot. But is anybody else going to go down with him?
Emily will offer. Emily will say,
He's a big boy.
if you need an extra pair of hands, I don't mind heading planet side, getting a little break from the claustrophobia of the Solovetsky Island.
I mean, I can handle Dudge as far as the pilot going down there, but the security
You'll still have,
officer,
you'll have You'll have Hamada and Tan and
Tam is
Lakota.
not interested whatsoever in going back down there.
Okay.
He's taking a thorough shower right now.
All right. I'm going to say Hamada certainly wants to stay in order in case there's some sort of security issue with the Marinos.
Yes.
So the question is whether Lakota goes or stays.
I can imagine Windows asking Hamada to keep an eye on them.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know about Lakota. What's Lakota's deal? What does she do? She's a medic?
Lakota.
Yes, she is a medic.
No, she could probably get on there and
I guess if the doctor's staying up, then we can send the medic down to assess the parts.
She can make sure that they're prepped for the cryopods on the way up, right? So she can work that.
Okay.
Does anyone
Get in the
object to
cryopods.
Emily going? Like, she doesn't really have any business down there. She just wants to go for no explained reason.
To collect more specimens, probably.
Maybe. No, she is thinking about the ore, the whatever it is, to see if she can, get an assess. That's what she's thinking. Even though that's not what she says. Fine. She just says she wants to get it off the ship.
I'll play Lakota as far as on the planet side, since she's a medic as well.
Okay. So going down is Dudge, Emily, Lakota, and Windows. Wait, is that too many people? That's fine, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
They can sit on each other's laps, I guess, if there's not enough space.
It's enough space to bring the Parks and Yoko back.
Yep.
All right. So you, Dudge, when you guys are trying to figure this out, Dudge is getting the dropship ready to launch again. And eventually, the four of you make your way to the dropship and are launching. And why don't we go through the, do a quick scene of the medical review and getting the Marinos into the med pods with Berger. So are you going to see them one at a time, or are you going to have them all in there together?
No, one at a time, in case I have to. You know what I mean? I have them waiting.
Okay. Who do you want to see first?
The father.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Diego comes into the room. That sits up onto the table that you have set up.
Nice family you have.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all survived as long as you did.
It hasn't been easy.
Very resourceful. And while I'm talking, I'm just doing observation and starting to break out, this stethoscope, which is archaic. And I'll put the cold metal on his chest and say, breathe deeply, and just do the, while I'm kind of asking questions to see if I can gather if he's come into contact with anything that like did attack me, or you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. Or
okay.
So I'm just kind of, but just the bedside manner, trying to do that in casual conversation.
Yeah, so he's actually kind of impressed you're using this, these old devices. He mentions that he is medically trained himself, and he kind of wants. He thinks that some of their ability to survive is partly due to his skills as a medic. And he says, he's never seen anything like the what the Parks have been exposed to. No one there has experienced anything like that before. The black eyes and those little worms.
Dreadful. I'll kind of warm up to him, or make him think that I am. Like he's a fellow brother of the in medicine, basically.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, that's all I want to do. And if there's any kind of unique or new viruses or diseases that he had come into contact with while on the planet,
Uh,
and should I roll anything?
nothing terribly serious. We don't have a large community to pass anything around. We did get
Yes.
my the 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 parks. The parks did get some sort of cold or something. I remember when the pirates came. I don't know if it was something that they caught from them, but they seemed to get over it pretty quickly.
Uh, that is good. That is good. Still is strange. This black blackness of the pupils and irises and these worms. Uh, Parasitic, I'm assuming. Um,
It makes sense to me.
but yes, I do believe. I would like to get a specimen though and examine it. Um, perhaps provide some countermeasures in case it happens to infect anyone on board. Um,
Well, I'm happy to help if you needed assistance.
that would be great. That'd be great. Swell, swell. Okay, I'll clap him on the back. And you look fine to me. Could you send in your wife or your son, either one, next?
Sure. Uh, he going over his the readings and and everything that you got from him. He seems in fairly good health. Um, as his wife suspected, he's suffering from some a significant number of vitamin deficiencies, but they're not like seriously deficient. Um, and But other than that, he seems to be in good health. He's lean, probably from a very restricted diet, and his blood work seems normal.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
I'll
he,
obviously get them on some kind of vitamin concoction, if not
mhm,
some kind of IV, straight to the system. One or the other, depending on how much of
uh,
a necessity it is before we go into cryo sleep, you know. But anyway, yeah.
all right. So Danny comes in after his father.
Okay.
You can see he seems a bit annoyed that he has to go through this, but he willingly gets up onto the table and allows you to begin your examination without any, um,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll go through like what's your favorite sport and how do you like living,
How do you like
there.
living?
Like
Living. How do you like
I
living?
like I like living quite a bit.
How you like living
I
on the planet? Is what.
Oh, that hurts your
well I
bedside manner, I tell you.
I
Yeah.
I I spent pretty much my entire life down there. I haven't known anything else, and I I've heard my dad talk about sports, but I've never had the opportunity to play any.
Okay. Well. Oh, you're gonna love where we're heading. They've got. I'm just gonna regale him with all the sports and all the activities and games and children his age, etc. You know what I mean? Kind of get him to shake off that teenage or preteen attitude.
Well, he's over 18 years old. He's
Oh, he is. Okay.
yeah, so he's a
Okay. Well,
young
the
man.
ladies there, the
Uh,
young ladies, and
yeah,
all this stuff.
that's what he was good. That when
Plenty,
you started
plenty for
saying
a
kids
young
his
man
age,
like you. Yeah.
he's saying
Well, we
there's
got
girls
romper
my age
rooms and
there.
yeah, yeah. So it looks like we came just in time. You know, a budding, flowering young man like you. Oh, geez. We could
Yeah, so
get you
that
sleeped
seems
up,
to have lifted the spirits quite a bit.
There you
Uh,
go. Yeah. As long as he's on the team,
and
it doesn't
uh,
cause any problems, you know. But then
yeah,
after that, I'll ask if he's, you know, just while I'm checking the ears and say, and checking his heart and all that kind of crap. Um,
mhm,
I'll just be asking questions about, you know, his experiences on that planet and the hard times and what he possibly come into contact with and whatever. So just digging for a little bit of information
yeah,
and
uh,
about the other his other the relationships with the other family. You know what I mean?
mhm.
See if there's any
my
backbiting or whatnot.
my the my mom told me to stay away from the parks. I don't remember exactly what happened, but there was a lot of fighting between them, and Benny's grandfather was killed, and uh, my uncle was killed, and I don't know who did it, but my mom always blamed the parks for her brother's death.
That's unfortunate, lad. Had two families trying to survive uh, deserve better than isolation and confrontation as such, leading to death. But possibly lessons were learned, and their passings won't be in vain. And we can get y'all to better days down the road, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, yeah, I'll pretty much fast track him as
Okay,
long as he's in a good mindset and you know,
yeah, he seems to be. Um, he's
you know, I'll tell the captain you're good for you know good for travel,
uh,
and
okay.
send in your mother and
Uh,
I'll evaluate her.
I'll send her in. Uh, I just want to. I just remind. I don't know if you keep talking about the captain. There is no captain of the ship. I don't know if you're just saying that for their peace of mind, or if
Yeah, yeah,
if
I'm
you're aware.
saying it.
Okay.
I'm saying it for their peace of mind.
Okay. All right.
They won't know any better. They won't hobnob with us, I hope. So,
All right.
yeah,
So we'll
just
do
a little bit of hierarchy. They got to bow to, more or less.
right. So we'll do the discussion with Emilio after we
Yeah,
find
that's
out
fine.
the dropship. All right. So the dropship left the Solovetsky Islands, uh, traveling down through the atmosphere. It is quite dark in comparison to when you landed previously. Uh, Dudge still seems confident now that he knows the proper landing location that he can, he can do it with no problem with spotlights and stuff as he approaches, gets closer to the land. Um, as as the dropship comes down, you were expecting to see some lights coming from the. Oh no, actually, you didn't bring the power back on in there. You just got them out. So when the dropship lands, you expected to see Yoko, uh, waiting, but she is nowhere to be found. Soon I will tell you where Yoko is in just a second.
Great.
Whoa.
All right.
Is
So
there any sign of the parks?
the parks appear to be they're bought. So after you get out and start scanning, looking around the area, you can see the park still unconscious on the back of the the SUV that you drove from the actual colony in. So
It's
they're
like
still there.
it's like parked outside the shuttle or the cargo ship.
Yes, and it has the the two cryopods are kind of where they were left after their physically taken out of the cargo ship, and they're sitting next to the Jeep or the SUV.
Okay.
All right, Todd, you're the only PC in the OA team, so you're going to take over. I think Dal, did you say you wanted to play Lakota because she was the
Lakota,
medic?
yeah, and she's got influence, so she's
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
used to being more authoritative. So anyway,
Okay.
Are we like on the ship looking at through a window, or like how are we?
No, I would say you probably you probably
off.
dropped the you dropped the ramp and you
Yeah.
stepped out onto it, and that's when you saw that the two parks are still in the
Emily is standing with her hands on her hips, assessing this cargo ship. Like, oh, this looks valuable.
She can see. I mean, she hasn't been here before, but I'm sure there's a short briefing on the way down. The actual mine is it's quite a bit of a walk / drive from here, so she won't have an opportunity.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you stay on planet longer.
Yeah, I imagine she won't make it to the mine, but she's looking at the ship and assessing it. Quick eyes on the ship.
Lakota takes long strides to the two in the vehicle with a hurried pace, and she has a little bag with her tools, medical tools, and she's checking their pulses and whatnot like that. So, and I thought Yoko was supposed to be here with them.
Okay,
Go find her.
I think I'll just sorry, I just gotta get Sam into bed. Okay.
Okay.
I'll be back in a second. All right.
All right.
Emily will go with Windows to go look for Yoko. That makes sense. Prospecting.
Okay.
Just like
all right.
Yoko? Yoko.
Now,
so
Lakota lifts up their eyes to look at them to see if they're dilated or what, if they're unconscious, right?
She cannot differentiate the pupil from the rest of the eye, so she cannot tell if it's dilated or not. It is pitch black, just like. Well, it's not. It's even worse than Daver was.
Worse than Daver.
Very, very faintly.
Snap clothes as she takes a step back. You know what I mean? Takes her hands off of it. What the?
Yeah, she looks at her hands and makes sure they don't seem like they have anything on them. I'm sure she's heard stories about the worms.
Emily, we need a stretcher. There should be some on the cargo ship. I think she'd bring some. So
there'll be some on the drop ship for transporting people.
Yeah.
Where are you going to move them to? Emily says.
We're going to get them into the cryo.
Oh, I see.
Cryopods to quarantine them as well as put them.
We haven't found Yoko yet. We shouldn't go
sleep.
Find Yoko first.
Yes, I said find her.
Find her or grab the stretchers.
Grab the stretchers. There's more than two of us here.
Okay.
So, I look at you guys.
All right.
Currently, like, stop screwing around.
So I will say that Kip and Emily go get the stretchers, and then are set on looking for Yoko. Is that okay?
Yeah, we're working.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I just want them to help me get the bodies to.
We'll help with that first. No problem.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll open up the pods or whatever and prep them.
Right. Yeah, they're not powered, but you're just going to put them in the pods and transport them inside the pod.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Well, I thought we were powering. I thought we were getting the pods set up.
We can power them. We just need to rig it to the dropship, which is your job.
Yeah, so they're going to put them in they're going to put the two parks in the pods and then transport them and power it up. Sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it takes it takes a good 15 minutes to get both of them on there and then find a way to transfer them from the stretcher into the pods, but you managed to do it between the three of you. Daver is making room in the dropship for where the pods can be hooked up and will be out of the way, and there'll still be room for everybody to come back up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
so let's say that you transfer both of them, are satisfied where they're at. You have a small, like powered cart that you found inside of the cargo ship that you can use to get that you can transport one cryopod at a time onto the dropship.
Yes.
So, who's going to go look for Yoko?
Oh, well.
If you're working on if y'all are working
Yeah.
on this, I can go look for Yoko.
Well, that's what I was thinking, right? I mean, normally
Okay.
I'd go, but
I mean, the medic
Well,
and the engineer.
As long as I'm secure that that they're in the pod and Kip is hooking up the you know what I mean, hooking it up and can turn
Yeah.
it on.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go because Yoko may need medical attention. You know. So.
All right.
Emily says,
So
"Keep up."
all right. So the two of you start heading over to the cargo ship. And now we're going to cut over to Yoko's point of view.
Okay.
So she was killing time. It was almost, the sun was almost completely set shortly after the cargo or the drop ship took off and headed back towards the Solovetsky Island. There is no power in the cargo ship. She started hearing things running around in the darkness, almost like they're circling her. And she decided to run and hide inside of the cargo ship.
Yep.
She is now tucked away inside of a small closet, and she heard the things clamoring around inside the cargo ship. They were roughly human sized,
Human size.
but she never saw them. She was
Mm-hmm.
too afraid to peek out and see what it is in case she revealed herself. But she heard them like almost like clomping around. She could tell that they were quadrupeds.
Okay, that was my question.
And they were rummaging around the ship, possibly looking for her. She's not sure, but they seem to have left approximately a half hour to 45 minutes ago. It was hard for her to tell time. She obviously heard the dropship land. That would have made quite a bit of sound because the cargo, the ramp is down for the cargo ship.
Okay, so Yoko's in this closet. It's been who knows how long since the last time she heard something moving about. Sorry, I don't know. He, whatever. So I'll maybe crack the door and have a flashlight. I imagine. I also imagine, would I be able to see if they had light source of quadrupedal creatures?
No. They did not seem to have any light source. They seemed more animal than intelligent.
Okay.
It certainly was not an organized search of the ship by any means.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I'll just peek out, shine my light up and down this hallway corridor. Um, and then I was able to hear that the dropship landed outside, probably. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, in fact, that probably kind of got you out of your stupor of hiding in
Yeah.
like complete darkness.
I'll just book it. I'll just run. Like, let's
Okay,
get out of
you're
here.
gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna run toward as best I can through the labyrinth of this cargo ship to get to the exit that I came in from, hopefully, and not get lost
Okay.
and go the wrong way.
Okay, so why don't you give me a mobility roll to avoid, since it's a panicked
Yeah.
run
Yep.
for safety. This is going to avoid any injury or um, something like that as you make your way out of the ship. All right. Your stress should. I'm going to let your stress drop by 1.
Okay.
Simply because you
Time.
had so much, like almost an hour of quiet time
Yeah.
inside of there. The stress has come down. Yeah. The members of the dropship are starting to head towards the um, the cargo ship and start making their way up the ramp. All of a sudden, they hear the panicked running and panting of someone. And just before they're ready to get defensive, they make out the shape of Yoko uh, running towards them as though um, not being chased, but looking for safety.
Yeah. Pant. Oh God, am I happy to see you? I don't know what something else was here on the ship. I don't know. I think it's probably gone by now. It was a while ago, but I hid until I heard the dropship, and now are we ready to get off of this
Are
rock?
you okay?
I look at
Are
my
you harmed in any
arms.
way?
I I look at my arms. Yeah, I feel okay.
Okay. I can tell you're a little bit exacerbated.
Yeah, I'm breathing
Your
heavy.
stress levels going up. I flash a little pin light in your eyes and hold your eyelids open and look. They're not totally black, are they?
Oh no, nope,
Better
they
not
look
be.
perfectly fine.
Oh,
Okay. I breathed a little sigh of relief
Ah,
for
that's right.
and looked both ways, and I said, "Yes,
going
come with
on.
us. I believe it's best we leave this place as soon as possible." Kip and is hooking up the pods now in the
Yeah,
ship,
yeah.
and Judge is ready to lift off as soon as we give him
The parks are
the
okay.
clear.
I felt a little bit bad about leaving them, but I was not able
Yeah,
to.
we were able to transfer them to that, and
That's
yes,
good.
I might have to file a report for your actions, but we're glad that you're okay. And let's deal with that. I look around nervously. We'll talk this out later. Let's get to the ship.
All
Okay.
right. So what we're going to do now is determine how long it is going to take Kip to
Mhm.
get the cryopod set up. So it's going to be originally the estimate was it was basically going to take about 8 hours for Yoko to do it by herself. Um, I'm going to say break that down into 4 hours um, per cryopod, and we are we're going to have Kip do a heavy machinery roll
Okay.
because he's doing he's like basically hardwiring these things into the power supply of the dropship. So each
Okay.
success that Kip gets is going to reduce that 4 hours by one. So it's going to apply to both. So each success is going to reduce it by essentially by 2 hours. It's going to be 1 hour. It's going to reduce it by 1 hour per cryopod. So if you get 4, you're going to be able to do it in like 10 minutes. Like it's not even going to take an hour to do it.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Which means that you're going to be a complete whiz. So
whiz
a
bang.
complete whiz or a complete wash. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I could be on the verge of a new nickname. Here we go.
All right, you got 2 successes. That's going to drive it down to 2 hours each, so 4 hours total.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to? You can push if you want, and try to make it even faster.
You
You
Hell
got
yeah.
quite a bit of dice.
Right
Hell
up,
yeah.
right?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Is
All
there
right.
a reason we should be sitting waiting for him
Yeah.
before we take off?
Well, we're just trying to establish how much time you guys are going to have to kill and what you may be able, what you might want to do.
Okay.
Because if it was going to be several hours, you might have, maybe that might give Emily an opportunity to go investigate the mine or something like that.
He could be hooking them up while we're flying up to the ship, or either just fly up to the ship and get them on the ship and then hook it up. Unless we have to hook it up.
So yeah, I mean while you're in orbit, or not in orbit, but while you're on the ship, you can't really. I mean, the thing needs to be secured, and then he needs. It would be almost impossible for him to do that while the ship is flying because it's going to be affected by gravity. So
Yeah, it'd be like a space
it,
shuttle takeoff, trying to do work on the ship while the ship is taking off.
Yes. Now, I mean, you could try to go up into orbit and just secure it. That would be fine
with some tie downs.
Right.
How long is it going to take to get to Solovetsky?
Well, I mean, that's kind of marginal. I mean, it took you about a half hour to get up there from from takeoff.
I just don't want Windows, spending 4 hours to hook them up, go up 30 minutes, and then have to unhook them.
Emily says, "Do it right. Get the wiring done properly. We don't half-ass jobs here.
Get to it." Oh man.
You need a
All right.
hand, Windows?
So
yeah, so if you want to get help, anybody who's trained in heavy machinery can roll a die, and if they get a 6, you'll actually be able to re-roll it if you don't get a 6 because you pushed.
Emily will help. Emily has a 1.
I don't get to re-roll it?
No, they do get. They will get to re-roll it.
Okay.
Dudge does not have heavy machinery.
Nope.
All right.
I'm helping.
Let's see. Lakota probably doesn't have heavy machinery. No. So yeah, that's
socket windows.
Did you just roll for Yoko or for Emily?
Oh, sorry. I don't know what I just did. Hold on.
Oh, you rolled. You rolled, so I assume somebody was helping, but you were controlling 2 characters in this scene, so I wasn't sure which you were rolling for.
I was rolling for Emily because Emily has heavy machinery. I don't think Yoko does.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think anybody else did.
Yeah, it says
right.
It says Yoko because that's who I am, not because that's who I didn't click the roll button. It's different.
All right. So you've got 4 hours to kill as as Windows is hooking up these things to the power in the dropship. Are you just going to sit around and wait? Or do you want to do some exploration or something else?
I mean,
Am I allowed to
as
do
long
other
as you got.
things even though I helped? No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not going to chance. Well, I can get on the horn and talk to call Bircher if possible.
Yes. Yes.
So I want to do that, and if I reach Bircher here, pull a little Gollum. Say Bircher, and he should be probably. Tell him to call me when he gets done with his patients, if he's doing that. But
Okay.
whenever he breaks free, uh,
All right.
this is
You're gonna role
Bircher.
play with yourself.
Yeah, this is Bircher. And she'll be like, I've got
boy.
this. We've got the Parkers secured, and then she'll relay the information that she found with them, and relay how the eyes are totally black and to a worse degree uh, than the other individual on the ship. You know what I mean? But got them secured away and quarantined inside the pods right now, which Kip is hooking up. So I'm just giving him a little bit of information about what to expect.
Okay.
But and I would have at least wanted to take some kind of vitals, at least from them, make sure they were breathing and not already dead, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just going to let him know that so he can prepare to have, and basically I want to ask him too if there's anything that he needs me to look for and get while I'm down here that could help him discern what may be the cause of this, other than the parks themselves. You know what I mean? See if I need to do any kind of exploration.
Okay. What's his
You,
and what's his reply?
Oh well, I thought he could roll. I thought he could roll to see if there was.
are you?
Yes. I'm going to say. I'm going to say that the only. I mean, he's going to get samples from the parks that may shed quite a bit of light on exactly what's going on. You can compare it to the samples that he took from Daver. But
Well,
I'm sure he has certainly heard of the black
well, yeah,
oil that
like I.
that Benny was found in. So the only thing he can think of that may assist would be getting a sample of that from inside of the mine.
and
Oh, the black.
we're
Okay,
on
yeah.
the dropship, right? In order for who is this Lakota to talk to Bircher?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I imagine Yoko on the dropship. Yoko kind of is happy to be on the dropship, and like is ready to leave this planet. Um, but Yoko also, since she's there with you, just mentions and shows you that she has a sample of this worm thing.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, because she would have been once because Bircher did mention that he wanted to. He'd love to see
Yeah,
that
I
the
didn't.
worm
I
thing
wasn't
or
able.
whatever.
I didn't. I didn't have a chance to grab any of that. The black slick oil. Um, that we found the park kid in, but I did get some of these worms that were on us
Okay.
after we dragged him out of the mine.
Okay, I relayed it to Bircher, and that was primarily what he wanted to see. But it might be Lakota might be interested in trying to discern what they lived in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Could tell
Dr.
that. I
Bircher,
think.
this is Yoko. Lakota told me that there was a contaminant detected by the sensors in the infirmary. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, if we do think it's the same, if we think it's the same contagion or the same thing that's affecting Daver and the parks here, then I might be able to help you when I get back on board to reverse engineer or be able to take that sensor, and if it's detecting the contaminant, we might be able to make some kind of sensor to detect hopefully in people or out of their breath if they're contagious, infectious.
Yeah, Lakota speaks up and she concurs because it might be the whatever juices these worms are basting in and whatever the environment they are is it's obviously a symbiotic relationship. You may have something. The change of the environment could uh, as long as we know what not to that will not stimulate them and restrict them. Obviously a lack of oxygen, but otherwise, yeah. So I think getting some of that black ichor will aid in the research toward that end. So yeah, Lakota is interested in going there in the vehicle that they were in.
Yoko
But she
says,
doesn't know exactly.
I'd rather not go. It's dark and we'll be ready to leave soon, I hope. And this is like a misestimation on Yoko's part, probably, because Windows still needs some time.
Yeah, well, I look over Windows. How long is it going to take Windows?
You have about 2 hours. You have about 2 hours left.
Yeah.
Emily says, "Let's go
as long as I don't get interrupted. Okay, like I gotta concentrate on this.
Emily says, "Lakota, you wanna? I'll go with you if we can be quick. If that vehicle's still working, we can be pretty quick."
It's about a 20-30 minute drive by Jeep,
Yeah, but
as Yoko
Lakota's never
recalls.
been there before. As long as somebody has been there before, they can leave us.
It's only
No, Yoko's
Yoko.
the only one.
Yeah. If Yoko wants to go, if you want to
Yoko
take me
doesn't
there,
want to go, but maybe could be convinced. Yoko's like stressed and needs to.
well, see, I have influence. This is perfect. With rank comes privileges. Being obeyed is one of them. You can push any skill roll based on empathy twice, not just
Oh
once with
wow.
other
Okay.
characters. So
So
manipulation.
one, yeah, if you're acceptable with the Doon, maybe if she succeeds in a manipulation roll,
Yeah,
will Yoko go?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Just
your deal.
one success or two?
It's just I can push twice.
No, I'm asking Doon if
How
he's
reluctant
happy with
Yoko
one
is.
success or it requires two.
Can we do like a versus or something?
Sure. Yeah, we can do verse. How about? Well, no, survival. I was going to say survival, but yeah, why don't we just do verses of manipulation? You're manipulating each other. Oh, 3 successes.
Wow, Lakota.
All right. Uh,
Yoko, is like, I'd really rather not. I'm ready to leave this place. I've seen enough, and and I'm the only one who knows how to get there. So fine.
I take you over to the side and kind of just look at you straight in the eye. Yoko, this could heal these people. Could give Bircher more information to be able to reverse what's going on. And then I'll glance over toward the pods. That is not natural. Did you see their eyes?
I saw them. Something's not right. I mean,
Yeah, they've
that's why we're
got
trying
some
to get out of
parasite
here.
inside of them. And if we know how to kill off that parasite, which anyway,
Okay,
reiterate about the juices.
I'll go, but I'm just a navigator. I'm not getting out of the car.
Just I
all right.
understand. Just take me there, and I'll get a vial to be able to transport it, and we'll be right back. I promise.
Emily, you're driving. Yes.
Yeah, it's Emily.
Yeah.
All right. So, the 3 of you climb into the SUV and begin driving down, the canyon that separates from where you're at to the Gorham colony. Um, Emily, is concentrating on driving because all she has there's some headlights, but there's also some floodlights type things that are mounted to the front that can light up the area more. But she's busy trying to navigate around rocks and stuff like that and not flip the Jeep. So let me get observation rolls from everybody, including I will roll for Dudge, but also need them from Kip.
Okay. Observation? Sure.
Yes.
There we go.
All right. You got a panic.
Yeah.
Nervous twitch. Okay.
Twitch.
So hold on 1 second while I roll for Dudge. He got 0 successes. All right. So it sounds like nobody got any successes. Or wait, or is this one above?
Yoko
Oh,
got a
Yoko
bunch.
did. Okay, she got. Whoa, he got 3. Okay, holy crap. All right. So shortly after leaving, Yoko sees something following up on the ridge. Uh, it looks like there's, in fact, it looks like there's more than one of them, but only one is following the SUV as it goes by down the as it goes down the canyon. She has a suspicion that these are the things that were chasing her, or that drove her into the cargo.
I'm sure of it. I'm
ship.
sure of it. Those must be the things.
And just as she's scanning around, she sees several of them running towards the drop ship.
God damn it.
And that is when Kip is, has his head, underneath his access panel and is trying to wire things up, when all of a sudden he hears something jump onto the roof of the cargo ship.
Oh shit.
Oh,
And you and that's why you do you have your nervous twitch, and you are really stressed out because it's basically just you and Dudge there, and he is busy in the cockpit, and may or may not have heard it.
It was a clank on top of the cargo on top of the drop
Oh no, I'm
ship.
sorry, I meant the drop ship. Yes,
Yeah,
I meant the drop ship. I apologize.
Okay. All right. So I've got to. I mean, like, I got to look and see what the hell this is. You know.
Okay.
And
Good luck.
pull my. Oh my god. Holy mackerel.
I'm going to say that there are pulse rifles mounted inside the dropship.
Did I not have? Oh, that was Hamada. Oh, Hamada had the good weapons. That's right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
if you want to grab one of them, I can put that in your inventory.
You mean I'm gonna have a Wayland ES7 Supernova dual action electric shotgun?
No, it will
Oh.
not be that good.
How about an Armat M41A pulse rifle?
Yes, it will
Okay.
be a pulse rifle.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Are you going to grab it?
I'm gonna grab it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It does not appear that you are trained in ranged combat.
No, I'm not.
But here is your gun. It is now in your inventory.
Okay.
You're gonna have to mark right. I think you drag it up to active. I think.
It says in that. Oh, so I drag it up to active.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not
Drag
sure
it
if that's how you
up.
do it or not.
I don't know. It's not dragging.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Anyways.
Uh,
All right. So I have drawn my Armat M41A pulse rifle.
Yes.
And I am looking for whatever it was that just made that noise on the roof.
Okay. Are you going to exit the dropship and look up onto the roof?
Damn, yes.
All right.
Eye and cheek
So
twitching.
as you you see, you see Dudge come out of the cockpit with his pistol drawn,
Mhm.
and you slowly make your way out down the short ramp onto the ground with your rifle pointed up towards the roof as you're, looking to see what that was. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust because you had some light shining in them and it's dark outside. But there are some external lights on the ship. It almost looks like there's something. It looks kind of blurry up there. Walking around, you can't make out the shape that well. It's almost it's very similar to um, it's almost like blending into the sky behind it. Uh, so it's it's almost like it's camouflaged.
We playing Alien or we playing Predator? What are we doing here? Jeez.
What are you going to do?
I'm shooting at this
Nice.
this disturbance in my visual field.
Okay. So you are untrained in ranged combat. So you're gonna fire. Obviously you still get to roll your agility, but you're going to need 2 successes to hit this thing because it's
Sure.
camouflaged.
Here.
Okay. So go ahead and do your roll. And oh, you got the 2 successes. All right.
You did? Oh.
Yeah.
It says one.
So
yeah, 4 yellow dice. Okay. All right.
no, you got 2. You got 2 sixes with your black dice. But you are going to start panicking again.
Oh yeah. Panic
So
level 8.
let's see. What's that?
Panic level 8.
Yes, that's not good.
No.
Welcome to Yoko Town.
All right. So what does the damage do on that rifle? I don't have it directly in front of
The
me.
damage on the rifle is 2.
2.
Damage
Okay.
2.
So I'm going to roll this thing's armor. All right. And I got 1 success. All right. So you definitely connect with this thing, and you hear this horrible squeal as it almost seems to disappear from disappear further back behind the roof to try to get out of range. But you definitely hit this thing, and it is you can no longer see it. And Dudge comes out with his pistol and is looking to you for a signal as to what you should do. He should do.
I motion towards the last spot that I saw it.
Okay.
And I tell him that I tagged him. I tagged him.
Did Dudge hear the squeal?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's why
that wasn't me.
That's
that
why he
wasn't
came
me.
out.
That was it.
Okay.
It squealed, not me.
All right. So he wants to start. I mean, he's looking to you to see if you want to circle around in opposite directions, or
that would make
what you want to do next.
That would make perfect sense. If I was a trained killing machine.
It would make perfect sense if you want to shoot each other.
All right. So obviously, since you have no idea, what you should be doing, he tells you to follow him, and he starts making his way around the left side of the ship, looking for it. So we're going to cut back to the SUV.
Okay.
It didn't take long for Yoko to see these things, and then you hear a burst of gunfire coming back from the ship. What are you going? What do you want Emily to do? Is she you turning around?
Yoko will say, "Shit, those are the things that I see. Those are the things that I think those. I think those are the things that had me pinned earlier, and there's one still tracking us. I say as I show them where it is on the ridge. Um,
I'm trying to look and see what he's talking about. So I'm rubbernecking basically. Where?
Yeah. You can't make out anything specific, but you do hear something moving up on top of the ridge.
Yeah, I figured we was in the automobile, so I'm not hearing it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean there's
Yeah.
But
crunching rocks sounds.
yeah,
Do
I'll say.
do we want to
Yeah.
do we want to
Are you sure it's
go
just not
back?
your imagination?
No, I'm sure it's a some
Just
kind
take
of
a deep
creature, maybe
breath.
local wildlife. I don't know.
Damn it.
How,
Okay,
let's see.
I'll look at
We're
it.
about
I'm
like halfway there, right?
compromising our situation, right? Because where's your stress level at?
My stress is bad. Um,
Yeah, I feel like I'm pulling you. I can't contend with you and be on a mission too if you're going to be freaking out like that.
well,
And
so
so,
right now Yoko is not being decisive about wanting to go back. I think that Yoko probably knows that going back is the like more honorable decision, but also doesn't really want to go deal with wildlife.
well, you can lie to me because I don't believe it so far. I'm thinking when I look at you, you can tell I'm thinking you're just jumping for the situation that you were in. You know what I mean? Well, I've asked you to come along.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I think.
can't you can just get me there? Everything will be all right.
Can I?
And
What happens if I shine? Can I shine a light, like a flashlight or a beam light, up
the
towards
little
Um,
the thing?
red pin light that I was shining at your little laser
Forehead.
light.
Yeah, I want to point it
yeah,
out if I can.
I'm gonna say that that they're from the back seat that you know from the seat that you're in. There's kind of like a hand floodlight, sort of like on a police cruiser that you can turn at like 180 degrees and
Mm-hmm.
shine in different directions. So yeah, I will let you do that. You've been tracking this thing the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
You got two successes. I mean, I'm sorry, three successes from the observation roll.
Mm-hmm.
The first one lets you see it. The
Mm-hmm.
second one lets you see that there's two groups and one
Okay.
heading back
Yeah.
towards the ship. The third one, I will let you. I mean, you can either,
Point it
if
out
you
to the
want,
others.
yeah, you can point it out to the others, so other people can, track it with the light that you're shining on it.
That would be Yoko's preference. Yes.
Okay. All right. So as you see this, the rest of you see this light shining up onto the top ridge, and you can almost make out the form of this thing. It seems to have uh, six legs, but it's only walking on four of them. The frontmost, have these large sickle-like claws on it,
Oh man.
uh,
Oh man.
and you can't, because it is partially camouflaged as it's running, so it kind of blends in with the rocks
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
it seems to have like some bizarrely shaped mouth that protrudes from the end of what you would consider to be its neck.
Am I seeing
It's
this
almost
too?
yes.
Yes.
Everyone in
geez.
the SUV is seeing this.
Look, it's real.
Yeah.
It's there.
My hand is like grasped a hold of your arm where I was trying to, like calm you down before. I'm gonna shine a light on it. My eyes are like fixated on it now, and you can feel my nails digging into your arm as that revelation is dawning on me. What the
And
hell is that?
it seems to be keeping up with the SUV at full speed. So it's like it's hanging back a little bit. And every once in a while, this strangely shaped head, looks over or looks down into the canyon to, to see where you are. But it seems to be following you, or
This is
almost
not good.
running alongside of you. I
This
mean,
is not good.
granted,
Do we
it
have
is
any
like
weapons?
30 feet. It is 30 feet
Oh,
up in the air, so
yeah,
you're not like in immediate danger.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is not good. Do we have any weapons? I'm
I
looking
think
around.
Emily will speed up the car. Like Emily will look up
Okay.
over her shoulder and look up and like get a glimpse that there's something there keeping up with us, and then she'll say under her breath like, you know, keep up with this, and then step on the
All
gas a
right.
little bit
So
faster.
do a piloting roll for Emily because she still has to avoid all the rocks
Oh yeah.
and the rough road. So she can certainly drive faster, but to prevent a crash, she's going to, and she got the success that she needed. So yeah, she kind of she's determined to outpace this thing, and she narrows into tunnel vision and just floors it and begins, and it's a bit of a rough ride for everyone behind or in the back, but yeah, it she you start you start creeping away from this thing, and within about 30 seconds or so, it's hard for Yoko to still track it with the light because they're getting so far ahead of it.
We're coming up on the colony, Yoko. Which way do I go? Oh, then Yoko says, slight left, slight left is straight into the mine.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, "Do you want us to respond?"
Yeah, Yoko just
All
describes
right.
like, okay, if you're gonna get slightly veer slightly left of the landing pad when you enter the clearing or the op.
Let's jump down and activate that map since that's where we are. So you can see.
Basically, she's describing like if you just go to the left of the landing
Okay.
pad, you'll go straight into the mines, which is where we're
All
gonna
right.
get that.
Emily's following. By the time you get to the colony, you can no longer. You have no idea where this thing
Yeah, we
is.
must have lost
So
it.
it sounds like you're driving straight into the mine.
Yep.
Is that right? All right. So I assume Emily's going to slow down to a reasonable pace at that point.
Yeah. Once we get to this area, she'll slow down. Not. I mean, we're not really. We don't need to slow down. I mean, we're not like speed racing, but we'll not waste any time. Just drive right in.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah. I don't mean slow down to a crawl, but like stop flooring it to try to escape this thing.
Yeah.
And
I assume
because
once we reach the opening or like the clearing that we're mostly out of sight of the thing, and
okay.
if it's still tracking us, it'll take its time to track us.
All right. So the SUV pulls into the mines, and you see all of these lights and stuff are illuminating everything. Emily is briefly distracted, looking at the walls, trying to see if there's any any glistening, obvious ore that's still available, and you can't, she sees some discoloration that could potentially be the ore that they were mining, but I would imagine she's just continuing to the end of the mine, right?
Yep, she'll just keep going until Yoko points out that's where we found the boy.
Okay. Yeah, and that was actually you didn't find the boy until they were up away from the oil. I believe it was Tan, or no, or was it Hamida?
Might
It
have
was either
been
Tan or Hamida that actually pulled the boy out of the oil.
might have been the
It was
dad.
Hamida. It wasn't me. I was up in.
Might have been the park's dad.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So are you continuing to where that oil was?
Yeah, I mean the whole goal was to get that sample of that oil.
Okay. All right. So you pull down to the eventually reach the end of the mine, and you can more clearly see that uh, you know the harvester probably just stopped at this point because the edge is all roughly cut where the sides were all smooth, and you can see several large canisters, almost like barrels, are stored here, and several of them toppled over and seem to have opened and leaked this black oil all up against the wall at the edge of this cavern. And before we find out what you're going to do with that, we're going to go back to the dropship and find out the fate of Windows and Dudge. All right. So Windows and Dudge are making their way around the dropship looking for this thing that Windows injured with his rifle. There is no sign of it other than some disturbance in the dirt, uh, and you can see a set of quadruped, uh, almost like claw prints running off into the distance, well out of sight.
Okay, I'm keeping my back up against the drop ship, all right, and I'm like, straight armed, like, pointing out front, pointing to the left, pointing to the right, like really fast, because I'm not training this shit, okay?
Yeah.
I'm kind of freaking a bit here, okay? So, what was that? What was that? All right. What are we doing here, Dudge? What are we doing? Come on, talk to me.
I think we need to secure ourselves in the dropship. We don't have the manpower for this thing.
No.
You said
Right.
you shot it and it didn't die?
I think it moved afterwards. I can't be sure. I don't know.
Let's just lock ourselves in the dropship
Yeah.
and we'll open it once the others are back.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So please roll a d6, and we will see if you make it successfully into the dropship without any more.
Make it successfully.
Well, I mean without another occurrence from one of these things.
Okay. One.
A 1. All right.
Good or bad? We don't know.
So, all right. So, as you start making your way back around the ship, you can hear that there's some sort of low guttural snarl from behind you. And you look back, and you can make out some sort of shape that seems to be staring at you, and you see this yellow liquid dripping off of what you think is the wound from where you shot it.
Oh man.
So what are you going to do?
I got time to shoot.
Okay, yeah, you can shoot again.
Okay. Same as before, though. I need 2 successes to hit with this thing.
Yes. Actually, no, I'll just give you 1 since you have some sort of visual cue of the yellow liquid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, what did I do last time? Shit.
I'm going to roll for Dudge is going to shoot
it's
too.
inactive. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Just do a ranged weapon attack or roll, and we can calculate the damage ourselves.
Okay. 4 yellow dice.
Good
You
roll.
got 1 success. All right, that's good. So let me roll the armor for this thing. Did I get any successes? I got another success. So that is going to do the 1 point of damage. Yeah. So you fire again, almost from the hip, but you have a better aim on this thing, and you can see you hit it again, not too far from the previous wound, and it squeals, and Dudge follows up with a fire from his pistol, and he is slightly skilled in this, but does not get any successes. So he fires again wildly, and this thing seems to run off into the distance again, giving you an opportunity to escape.
Okay, let's get in the ship. Yeah.
All right, the two of you run around to the ramp, and Dudge hits the button as soon as he gets up to the top, and the thing closes, and both of you are whispering, "Come on, damn it, close!" And
I'm punching that button, continually. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the ramp starts to close, starts to get up, and you sigh with relief as it gets to the point where it would no longer be able to fit through.
Woo. Okay.
All right. Let's go back to the mine. So the three of you see this, this black oil-like substance that has been spilled from the toppled barrels in the back. You can make out a logo on these barrels.
Ooh.
And it is the Wayland-Yutani Corporation.
Of course it is.
But it is some like older form of the logo. I mean, it's still obvious who it belongs to, but this is certainly from the early incarnation of this company, back when these colonies were first established over 100 years ago.
Yoko points out, the kid said maybe some pirates left something here in the mine. I'm not sure if this is what he was talking about, or if this is something that they were, some kind of project that they were doing, the colony was doing here. Probably left by pirates. That's, and then just Yoko's just like thinking aloud, because maybe the barrels, the Wayland-Yutani logo could be from anything. Everything in this part of the space is old and dated, and I'm sure pirates use whatever they can get their hands on. Who's with me?
Yeah, while you're talking, I'm reaching down and getting some of the
Lakota, you hopped out and you're grabbing some of the black oil.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'll be doing that, looking over my shoulder and trying to do it as quickly as possible. I don't think I can take a photograph, but if I can, the Wayland-Yutani, emblem on the barrels or whatever.
I'm going to say that Emily does have something. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Emily does have something for taking photographs, specifically for her
camera feed, even
prospecting.
Yeah, for her prospecting, because she has to take photographs of potential sites for for establishing mines and that sort of thing.
Yeah, as you like suggest the idea of taking pictures of the barrels, and while you're doing that, you hear Emily like taking pictures of the mine itself and like the walls and the ore and the stuff, right? And she says, yeah, of course we can take pictures. And then she says, what do you want to get? The barrels? And she just starts taking pictures of the scene as it exists.
I'll turn around and say, when we let's get let's get back in the vehicle and head back as quickly as possible. I'm paranoid about this creature catching up with us. But take a couple of snaps of the facility. You know what I mean? Before we before Emily peels us out of here.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I'll
So
cap it
the
off and get in there.
Lakota, as Lakota is drawing these samples, that's when she notices that there are hundreds, possibly even thousands of these worms that are headed towards the puddle of oil. And as she scans around on the ground and walls, sees that the wall, like all of the dirt, is
Undulating.
covered in these worms, uh, and they're all seem to be gathering towards the oil itself.
Okay. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. Hit it, basically. So
Can Emily see these?
Yeah, I would say she's taking pictures of the barrel logos, and that's when Lakota points them out.
I'm gonna catch it on fire if I can. Have some kind of before we leave.
Maybe
We don't know if this is I don't know, it's flammable or explosive. It's we gas ourselves out here if we
Yeah, I know.
Fire.
The whole place
Emily
would go
says.
up, and we just wouldn't look behind us as we drove off. But
Can Emily look? She's not super urgent about the worm situation. Still not panicking. She's curious about, is there like a source of worms, or they're just everywhere and they're kind of going toward the oil?
they seem, as she scans around, she sees that they are not quite everywhere, but they're within like 20 or 30 feet of they're concentrated within 20 or 30 feet. They seem to be drawn to this oil, but their density is lower the further out you get, and
Okay.
you are stepping on them,
Okay.
but they don't seem to be crawling on your skin or anything.
Okay, that's
wow.
Or crawling up your pants, like they were with Hamida.
Yeah. Be careful, Lakota. Don't want to fall in that. Yoko says.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to get out of
Yoko's also urgent about leaving now, and Yoko's like, okay, I think we got everything we need. Emily says just a few more pictures, and if she can is there actually any like dust or rock sample that she could take or?
Yeah, I would say so. You could probably find some loose rocks that have some.
Emily says, yeah, okay, we let's go. I just want to grab a sample of the
Okay.
Some of this, just a random sample of whatever the rock is. She can analyze it later.
All right.
And then she'll get back in the driver's seat and say, all right, well, I got everything we need. I bet you I could make it back in half the time. Floor it.
All right. I'm not going to make you do another pilot roll.
Thank you.
But you, as you're heading out of the colony, you see. Actually, it's Yoko that points them out. He sees more of these creatures like scattered around, like they're wandering around the colony. There's lights on them, and as soon as they see the light and the SUV emerges, and they see the light, they start running towards the SUV. What is Emily going to do? Is she going to try to avoid them, or which would be fairly easy? They're coming from they're starting from a standstill. So she could avoid them all.
Yeah, I mean the issue is they're kind of big, right? They're like person sized, like deer sized.
Uh, yeah, like if a human being was on, uh, their hands and knees, that's about the size they are.
Okay, but the good thing is this Jeep is like reinforced, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Emily. There, if it's very easy to avoid them, Emily would go for avoid.
Okay.
Like
All
meaning
right.
like
Yeah.
if there was something like you know running straight at us and is going to be difficult to avoid, she'll try to plow through it. But if it's easy to avoid, then she'll go,
Yeah. I mean,
swerve right and
they're
then try to just go for the exit and see if they follow us. If they're
okay.
chasing us, we'll deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, you can give them a wide leeway, but and find a path out onto the ravine and
You know
outpace
what?
them pretty quickly.
She'll actually do the like like not Simpson, not Homer, it's not Simpsons. You know the thing where you like slow down to see us catching up, and then go, and then slow down, and you're catching up, just to assess them. She'll do that.
Okay. Yeah. Eventually they start to catch up to you a little bit, and then you start outpacing them again, and repeat that over and over again. You can see, the group has started to get up to about like 5 or 6 of them. It's hard to make out the exact number, but when you get closer, you can see every time they get closer, you can see a couple more of them.
Yoko says, "What
Are
are
you
you doing?"
are you gonna do?
Yoko says, "What are
Are
you
you gonna?
doing? Let's get out of here. Stop screwing around."
Oh yeah.
Are you going to? Are you going to continue this all the way up to the drop
No,
ship?
we're not
Or are you
gonna
going
lead them
to?
all the way home. Just a few times so you can get it. I'm just slowing down so you can get a look. Like
Okay.
You don't
do they
want to
have
look.
teeth? Are they?
I mean, you can't quite make out teeth, but you do
Are
see
they
this like
male or
long,
female?
and you do see that they have these like you can see the better see the head of one of them, and it's almost like a starfish mouth. And once it gets closer, you uh, it's almost like some sort of something is emerging from the mouth and like thrashing at the edge of the SUV before it you start to outpace it again and put distance between you.
Um, Emily, while driving, will. Oh no, she won't trust them. Ah, fine, she'll do it. She'll say, "Lakota, can you get a picture?" And
Oh
hand off
yeah,
her iPad or whatever, whatever it is.
yeah, maybe at one of the moments that it's closest, she snaps a picture, and you can clearly make out the shape and some of the parts, but it's hard to see a lot of the detail because of the camouflage.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's and then like maybe like a mile into the ravine, we'll just
Hmm.
ditch them.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you floor it and they disappear, and eventually you can start to see the lights on the drop ship. But unfortunately, the ramp is up and
Hell
the
yeah.
door is closed. And we will pick up there next time.
Couldn't we end with them
Um,
like banging on the door?
sure, yeah.
Sure.
Actually, Emily hits the horn and says doodaloo doo doo
Yeah.
doodaloo doo doo.
Yep.
And they pull up next to the dropship and hop out and start pounding on it.
Did you just reference
And
Lost
what?
Boys? Did you just is that what you just did?
Dukes of Hazzard, I think.
So what is Dutch's and Kip's response when they start hearing some panic pounding on the outside of the dropship?
I don't know who that is. Is there a port? Can we see who's out there?
It's like
Yeah, there's certainly. Yeah,
There's
I would say that
cameras.
there's probably
Oh, okay. All right.
windows
Okay.
that you
So
could.
yeah, sure. I say cover me, and I'll punch that hatch button. Yeah.
All right.
shaving a haircut.
Slow. Yeah, and slowly the ramp drops and the top of the door opens, and
All
you
right.
can see the eyes and faces of your compatriots.
Get in, I say.
Can
as
we
I-
take
as
the
I-
Can we take the whole vehicle, or is it too big?
What's the path?
There's no because of the the cryopods. There
Yeah.
won't be room for the drop or for the Jeep. You would have been able to bring it otherwise.
Okay, well, I guess we can just leave the keys in the visor.
yeah, so they're gonna take it.
All right, so we'll pick up there with you guys finishing up with Kip finishing up the repairs and taking off next time.
Right on. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Are the parts the same condition?
Yeah, they seem to be. They're in. You know, someone had the foresight to open up the vents inside of there so they
Give them
don't
a little
suffocate.
oxygen.
Yeah, they're doing just fine. You know, they weren't disturbed, and the cryopods are in the same place that Kip left them when he went off to hunt this thing.
Super.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, good stuff.
All right.